So Angus, we brought you on today because you are Zavvi's video game correspondent. I come from a world of films, but you come from a world of video games.
Yeah.
So we brought you on today to talk about upcoming video game adaptations.
The pressure's on, I am the biggest geek.
You'll be just fine, you'll be just fine. So The Last of Us has just come out and everybody loves it, myself included. I've seen the first couple of episodes, I'm really enjoying it so far. Are you?
Hands up, I haven't actually played the game
Get
yet.
on it, man, you love it.
But it will be coming up.
But I thought, to celebrate that, let's talk about some upcoming video game adaptations for the big and small screen. So Five Nights at Freddy's, the long-awaited Five Nights at Freddy's movies coming from Blumhouse and Universal. I think it's coming out next year. They have a cast and filming is due to start any minute now?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I think it's been rumoured for quite some time. Considering how many games they released, I believe they're on the 7th game now.
Oh, wow.
6 or 7.
Wow.
It's been coming for a while. They needed to hit the big screen.
Exactly. I think there's been plans since 2016, I want to say, for a Five Nights at Freddy's movie. So the fact that we're getting it in 2024, you know, waited a bit, but hopefully we get a really good movie out of that.
Well, I think it's quite nostalgia for me. You know, I grew up playing the video games, and I remember.
How young are you?
I do remember playing them like in high school.
Oh wow!
I absolutely loved them. Me and my mates used to squeal so loud because, you know, playing
Jump
the first
scares.
one. Freddy was terrifying.
He was, yeah.
Absolutely terrifying animatronic.
Well, we have Matthew Lillard, who is confirmed to be playing William Afton, I believe his name is. In the game, he's represented as a purple man. And doing my research as well, he's also inside the body of a yellow animatronic called Springtrap, I think. Springtrap? Yeah, that's it.
Awesome.
So he's the big bad of the Five Nights at Freddy's universe. And it's a really interesting choice to go for him, because as we've seen in Scream 1, he plays Stu in Scream 1, and he can do Unhinged really well.
Oh.
And for a child murderer who shoves himself into a robot rabbit suit, I think that's as unhinged as it gets, really.
Yeah, it's a very similar concept to Chucky, I would say.
Oh yeah, big time. With all the possession and everything, yeah. What I like about the concept for the film is it can go either one or two ways. It could either go down the route of this is going to be a kid's first horror movie and it might be their gateway into the genre, which is a really healthy thing for the genre as well. It's going to have more eyes on it. Or it could go the complete other way and go a balls-to-the-walls crazy horror movie, blood and guts everywhere. Very similar to what they did with the Banana Splits movie that came out a couple of years ago. I think Warner Brothers put that out and that was a straight-to-DVD sort of film. But that was the Banana Splits, beloved 60s children's series, reimagined as robots on a kids' TV show. And when their TV show is cancelled, they don't like that. And their coding goes haywire and that kills off a load of people, and it's very bloody and guts are flying everywhere, but it's also very camp and silly as well, so they could go that way with it.
A game I've wanted to speak about for God knows how long is finally getting a TV adaptation confirmed by Amazon Studios.
I love that for you.
It's such a big moment for me, and I think the cool thing about it is they're taking it from God of War 4, which is the Norse mythology storyline. Although I think Greek mythology would be awesome, the first series is confirmed to be about Kratos and Atreus, his son.
Okay.
And the storyline in the game, I don't know if you've played the game.
I haven't, no.
It's the only video game that's ever made me slightly cry.
Oh wow,
and
really?
for very specific reasons.
Not full on blubber, slightly.
A little bit. It was just such an emotional game, and I think it's so cool that they were able to show Odin, Balder, Thor, Freya, all these Norse gods. They don't show them in good light. It's really interesting.
So who do you want to see play Kratos then?
It's the big question. I think for me, my heart is set with Christopher Judge, the voice actor.
Now you did show me a picture of him, and I must say he does look the part, and he's also got the voice.
He does. He's built and he's perfect for it. And if anybody knows how Kratos speaks, he sounds like this. Boy.
That's a very good impression.
I can't lie. I personally think I should be Kratos, but you know, we'll see.
You got to bulk up a little bit there, dude.
Yeah, I think
No
I might need to bulk up a little bit. You know?
Well, I would like to see it, and I think this might be a public kind of decision as well, but I'd love to see Dave Bautista take the role on.
I think he's good.
Because of Guardians, I think he's become a massive household name.
Yeah.
But he's trying to branch out of Guardians, and he's trying to do more grounded projects, very much like God of War. So maybe we'll see him as Kratos.
Definitely. You know, the other actors that are rumoured to do it, apparently The Rock. And I think The Rock's got a lot of backlash. And personally, I think the Kratos is the perfect role for The Rock because it's not too much as the acting, it's more about the storyline around Kratos. So I think that is a perfect role for Rock.
Okay.
Also, you've got Tom Hardy.
Oh, that'd be a good choice.
If it looks normal for him to be so big, I think he will be amazing for it.
Excellent. The thing is with Pac-Man, every time you play it in the arcade, you see Pac-Man going around the maze, munching on the dots, but can you imagine Pac-Man as, first person? Imagine you in that maze. You don't know what's around the corner, do you?
Yeah.
A ghost could come round, and that is really scary. So I'm gonna pitch a horror Pac-Man starring Pedro Pascal. You gotta watch a couple of episodes to get that one. We'll get Pedro Pascal in there, Pedro Pascal, right?
Wow.
Get that in there.
Love the puns.
And I would love to see like a survival horror with one man in a maze and his only sustenance is a bunch of the power pellets in the maze and he's got 4 ghosts after him. I think that could work as a really strong horror.
You just wrote the storyline.
I know.
There you go, there's a TV series.
Where's my contract, Hollywood? Come on.
I think Pac-Man done well could be really cool.
Yeah.
And I know we spoke about this previously. It would be also cool to see an interpretation of Pac-Man falling into the real world. Imagine him landing in New York City. That'd be
you could take it the complete opposite way, which is probably the way they will take it, where Pac-Man comes to the real world a la the Smurfs or something like Alvin and the Chipmunks. So, something that the whole family can enjoy.
Oh, yeah.
But I think they'll probably take it that way. But I do want to see horror Pac-Man. I think that sounds amazing.
Next up, we have Ghost of Tsushima, a game that was released in 2020 on PlayStation 5. And
become a massive hit over the years, hasn't it?
Wow, it was such a phenomenal game. It won Game of the Year, and for good reason. Ghost of Tsushima is set in Japan around the time of the Mongol invasion, and it's basically the samurais come to fight for their country. And of course, as we all know in history, they do lose and the Mongols win. But you play a character called Jim Sakai, and he's called the Ghost. He's the samurai ghost, and wow, he is probably one of the best written game characters ever.
Oh really?
It's a push, but he's amazing.
Okay.
Playing as samurai itself is so cool. They're keeping it very authentic, and I believe it is going to be produced by
Chad Stahelski.
There you go. That's how you pronounce it. I was struggling a little bit, but I'm really excited to see this film. I think it has got the storyline, and it's the visuals are just stunning on the game. So if done well, this could be amazing.
You think it will translate well to the cinematic landscape?
I think so. I think it's going to be a really authentic take.
Excellent.
Traditional. It's going to be traditional Japan, and I feel like it's just going to be perfect.
Sounds like something I have to check out.
You need to play it. It's
Absolutely.
amazing.
We've also got another take on Assassin's Creed coming out.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope it's better than the latest one that came out.
Oh yeah. I mean,
we love Michael Fassbender here, but it could have been better. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I've been playing the Assassin's Creed games since I was a kid. I think there's such potential for it. The latest games, the storyline was brilliant on Valhalla. I don't know which Assassin's Creed they're going to base it on. There's so many.
Well, there's a multitude of games and time periods where they can go with it, can't
yeah,
they?
there's such an opportunity for it to be an amazing TV series. Look at The Last of Us, it's such a fantastic storyline and it was adapted amazing by HBO. If Assassin's Creed has done well, that could be as good as The Last of Us. And I know there's only been a couple of episodes out, but wow. We cannot complain. Pedro Pascal, aka the Daddy, has done an amazing one. And I think
AKA the Daddy.
he's the Daddy, isn't he?
He is known as the Daddy in Zavvi Towers, admittedly.
So there's going to be 3 TV series in the Assassin's Creed genre.
Wow.
1 anime, 1 animated.
Anime and animated.
There's
a big difference as well,
And live action.
Wow.
So I think there's going to be such a variety for people here. Those who love anime will be able to get an anime take. Those who love animation and live action, like me,
it's
going to be perfect. And
I'm been a year of Assassin's Creed, wasn't it?
God! And the next Assassin's Creed game coming out, Mirage, I believe this year.
Wow.
I wonder if they'll base it off the Mirage storyline because it's it's going back to the basics. So let's see where they take it.
Well, we'll have to find out.
Definitely. So originally I would have said Halo, but that got a TV adaptation.
It already happened, didn't it, on Paramount Plus?
And it was really good. I don't know if you watched it, but it was awesome.
I haven't seen it, no.
So I think my answer will have to be The Elder Scrolls. I'd love to see Oblivion.
You've got a movie franchise there. You know what I mean?
You could make 3 trilogies out of that film.
You could have a Skyrim trilogy. That's 3 movies there.
Wow, what a game! You know, playing as a Dragonbot, that would be something else. And I think
You'll take down Alduin at the end. You know,
it'd be amazing.
Parthenax is there.
It could be so good if done well.
Yeah.
And I think HBO would really suit that.
Wow.
You know?
So with HBO doing Game of Thrones as well, I think they are such a great fit because they basically put the fantasy genre back on the map with Game of Thrones. So.
House of the Dragon.
And House of the Dragon too as well. So imagine what they could do with the Elder Scrolls franchise.
What about yourself?
I'm gonna go with one of my favourite games, and this takes me back to my childhood a little bit. Banjo-Kazooie.
What a game.
It was a late 90s classic. I had the first 2 games on my N64. Still got them somewhere in the loft somewhere. And then they had Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts on Xbox 360. And I like that game. I think it's a fun game, but everybody wants Banjo-Kazooie 3, and that just didn't cut it for them. So I've always thought while playing these games, this is a cartoon as a video game. So, you know, with Sonic the Hedgehog coming out and doing, you know, numbers at the box office and even getting a 3rd movie, where's Banjo-Kazooie's time to shine? You know, you got Banjo the Bear, Kazooie the Bird, you got Mumbo Jumbo as well, and Grunty the Witch. There's all these really fun characters, and I think they would make really well for a film.
Definitely, I think either a film or for myself, I think a cartoon could suit it.
Oh, a cartoon would also be very good.
It'd be really cool, you know.
10-episode Netflix series, Banjo-Kazooie. And the story of the first Banjo-Kazooie game is Banjo's little sister Tootie is kidnapped by Grunty the Witch and put in a machine to try to take her looks away as well, so it all transfers. It's a really weird story. Just got to play it. You have to be there, you know.
This was on Nintendo 64 though.
It was on Nintendo 64 back in the day, but I think you can play it on Switch these days. Because it's Rare is owned by Microsoft now, so you can play it on Xbox. You've been able to for years, but I think only recently you can now play it on Switch. So it's gone full circle. But yeah, I'd love to see Banjo-Kazooie.
That's an awesome.
Yeah,
awesome
I'd love to
suggestion.
see that as an adaptation. I think it really suits for it.
A bit different than my suggestion. I will say.
Yeah, very true.
One end of the spectrum.
Yeah, 2 very different extremes, I think. So to everybody out there, what video game do you want to see as an adaptation? It could be for the big screen or the small screen. But do let us know in the comments. And until next time, that's another episode of Zavvi Talks wrapped.
Awesome.